God, I'm excited.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be awesome. Like, I would like to stay up and watch it all, but I got things to do tomorrow, so I have to cut it somewhere.
Some of the fans over in Australia, if they're in the same spot as you, maybe they can catch the VOD. But we're happy you're here live with us right now, everyone, for the kickoff of the LAN. Watching Duwatna on this first middle, of course, as I mentioned, he had the highest DPM. We're going to see, though, how LAN goes. LAN's a whole new ball game. There might be some surprise stars this LAN. But let's have a look. Mr. Duwatna gets to mid. He's going to start throwing damage. This is a big, wide open middle on this Sunshine map. Badonsky's out, mirroring him as well. Mela's going to come right around back, and Roamer for eLevate TF2 going to come right in behind. Actually going to come now and just make a jump in, maybe for those scouts. eLevate getting over to that right side, but Blaze just kind of raining down. Blaze takes out a couple there. Decimate and Alpha both down. eLevate's sticking in there. KBK's down to 68. I think KBK's thinking of getting out of there right now. He's going to heal up Badonsky to see if he can steal a pick here. Badonsky going in deep. Badonsky's in. Badonsky in, trying to get some pipes. He might crater here. He saves himself and grabs the pack. They're still in there. eLevate fighting it out, although they've got... Wow, Badonsky down underneath right now. The cap is going down to blue here somehow. Really impressive. I felt like eLevate maybe almost panicked there and backed out early, Yuki. What did you see?
I saw Shrugger, I think, get all 4 kills on that rollout for his team just there, so props to him for, putting out a really strong first performance in that rollout. He just completely destroyed both scouts on 4G's side, and he just played with his medic, got those hills, and proceeded to mop up.
I don't know if we got it on cam, but I'm being told that Mela had some big air shots, but meanwhile we have the Ubers popped off, and Mela trying to air shot Duwatna, doesn't get it, flashed off, and so kind of a stalemate of Ubers here as it looks like the point might get... Oh, Mela gets taken down there. Lansky's sticking it in. Big Lansky doing his thing. He's going to sneak down beneath. It looks like 4G maybe getting ready to see this point, but both teams are playing really balls to the wall as Shrugger takes out Shade. There's going to be no heals for 4G here, and Elevator coming in on this last. I don't know, 4G might have dropped the ball a little bit here on the timing. They're going to have no heals, but the scouts are trying to hold it down. But here's eLevate. They're already in on last. eLevate want to take this first round. A lot of damage being put out here. We've got Decimate and Badonsky and doing their thing. They're on this point. Clockwork's going to come in and challenge. Shade and Clockwork. Clockwork doing it solo. Clockwork in on Mela now, gets taken down, but the first round in high-octane fashion goes to eLevate TF2. And Yuki, could this be the start of an upset, the very first match?
I don't know, I mean, maybe 4G are just using that first round to just suss out their opponents and just figure them out, but Mela on that 4th point there just distracted 4G just for enough time for his team to get set up and just proceeded to destroy 4G, and then they pushed on for the win.
Got the split screen, something to look for, a brand new thing we're trying out. Stay tuned for that. But right now on this middle, we have Badonsky down already, the big damage dealer for eLevate, and they're getting the hell out of there. KBK is... Oh, but look, in behind! Well, that was Blaze, who was in behind looking for a little sneaky pick on the mid. But KBK and Shrugger stand, but we got Clockwork coming in now deep. Clockwork wants blood. He wants blood. He's just coming in. He's going to scope out last. Badonsky and KBK are going to come out and challenge. This looks real good for 4G right now, who really taking out Badonsky in the demo on that middle. That's a huge deal, and you can see on this Sunshine map, it's really easy to kind of bowl over. But Shade has to get back to catch up with his team here, so a little bit of a delay, and maybe they aren't going to come right in.
Yeah, I'm surprised eLevate didn't actually want to push out just then now. I mean, they were man down, but they had complete heals over 4G, so a bit of an interesting decision for them to not push there at all. I guess they're going to wait for the Uber.
Absolutely, and so both teams, I mean, there's no let up right now. I don't know if fatigue will eventually become a factor here. We had an Uber popped off out there in yard, I saw, and right now this cap rate is just going down to eLevate. Sometimes you see passive play coming right out the gate, but neither of these teams have been doing that. I've seen 110 from each side so far. We've got eLevate back out on middle now, taking mid right back.
Yeah, it's really good by eLevate to actually, after using that Uber to, try and cap the midpoint and just buy more time for their team, as they are with that Uber disadvantage right now. And it looks like 4G are going to be pushing around choke with this Uber advantage, or maybe they're going through Cafe.
Well, yeah, holding on to Uber now, just want to know what to do with it. There's such a wide open area, it can be tough to use at this middle, so they're going to try to hold on if they can, but eLevate are going to do what they can to sort of force it out, and here we go, the Uber comes out, Duwatna going to jump right up high and just lock that team into their spawn, and they're going to easily take this second. No picks, though. Although, no, they got Badonsky. Benny went in real deep and got Badonsky, and here's the counter Uber now. Duana's in a lot of trouble, and he's going to try to get saved, goes down. Alpha's coming in real deep, and Alpha's been a standout player so far as well. I've seen the soldiers of eLevate going huge, and we've just got a lot of back and forth here, a lot of scrappy fights, and a lot going on, Yuki.
Blaze is behind on the medic.
Yeah. We've got Shrugger coming in on Bandit. We have a lot of people in behind and a lot of flanking going on. KBK went down off camera. I missed it. Hopefully we did get it on the stream camera, but a lot going on, and my God, we're coming out hot on this first match of LAN. Banny still trying to do his thing, and looking at Banny, who's actually been hot in terms of the scouts here. Banny kind of leading the way and playing a little bit of the aggressiveness, and takes out Badonsky there with some nice shots. Gonna come around back and try to pick out Mela if he can. Mela goes down as well. Good time for a push for 4G. Mela and Badonsky down.
Yeah, if Mela landed those rockets there on Shade, he hit a really good one to open and then missed his other two. They killed Shade there just before he got Uber. This would have been an easy last defense, but now defending against Uber advantage.
It's hard to defend against this with a full Uber. It looks real good. They got to get those picks, though. Looks like they are going to do it, and Froyotech real impressively pull even here. It is 1-1. Are we going to get the split? I know we're going to get a split rollout at one point. It was supposed to be the second, but we'll have it eventually. Something for you guys to watch. Something fancy. We like production value here at Team Fortress TV, you know? I'm looking at Duatna, by the way. Do you want to call the mid? Yuki, take us through it.
Okay, it looks like there's just a bit of sticky trade happening right now, but Donsky and Duatna exact same health. Nothing else really happening yet. Just a bit of pot shots happening. Soldier, that is Mela, just doing some big jumping up on the roof. Alpha on the side just applying some spam as well. Not really any aggressive play right now, it's just a bit of posturing happening. A Shrugger getting very low as well as Alpha. Blaze isn't on the medic, does get Shrugger, and KBK does get away, but Lansky with a second kill with the assistance of Clockwork. Alpha goes down to Blaze. Good 3k for 4G side, 4k.
Blaze is in on KBK, Blaze is in on KBK, and he gets him. Nice chasing by Blaze there, doing that roamer thing. And what a strong middle. 2 in a row now by Froyotech. After the first round, where eLevate came out so hot and took like a 2.5 minute round, it's been kind of all Froyo, and Blaze is still on the prowl here. Look how far up. Blaze and Lansky both in here, and this could be messy. In comes Shrugs to try to do his thing, and he goes down. Mela down now too, with 2 bled out. This could be real messy and ugly here for, we have Uber, although got forced out. The Uber has to do a lot here now. This has to be it right now for Froyo, and they may have wasted that Uber completely. Blaze down real low, but no real pressure on him. And they're going to try to put this together and kind of improvise a push here. There's 3 down still. Bandy's coming around the side. Bandy wants the medic. Bandy's in on Badonsky. Bandy's in on Badonsky. Bandy's in on Badonsky. Badonsky manages to stay up. Very impressive there. But only 1 player left up. It is the medic, and we're looking at 2-1 for Froyotech. We're going to have the split cam mid on this middle. It's going to be the demos.
That was just completely ruthless by 4G. Just a lot of players just shoving eLevate into the spawn, and players just getting onto the cap. Just surgical play by them. Just really solid play. And hopefully eLevate can pick it up on this mid.
Yeah, I'm looking at both of these guys. I'm looking at Duatna specifically, who's pushing pretty aggressively up, as a matter of fact, but stays aware of those demos that are there. Mela coming right up. Pushing around left side now with his soldier and trying to take some ground on this middle, and I see Elevator just sort of taking the middle a little bit. 4G really just kind of bullying it. I don't see as much presence from Elevate as I'd like. Mela taken out by a big shot there by Blaze, and Blaze and Clockwork, the old duo who have been together for so many seasons as a flank, doing so much work, but this is an even mid here still. We've got KBK and Alpha trying to do their thing, and Shane and Lensky. Look at this, yeah, we've got ulti-duo mid, and the Uber got popped off. KBK is only at 94%. So, I don't know, give the healing award there to Shade, I guess.
Yeah, but Lansky does go down, and this is, should be starting to get capped for Elevate. I mean, obviously they did lose their medic, so there's going to be that slight Uber advantage for 4G, as Shade does eventually finally find someone to build. Not really getting much of an Uber advantage, but 4G coming back in here with their heals, they're going to be able to stop this midpoint.
I feel like you get to the 2-1 point in a match, and it really gets to that crunch time feeling where you go balls out on a mid. Is that what we just saw?
Yeah, that was definitely just the clash, just the big clash, and it was extremely close as we saw. And look at the Ubers. There's pretty much no advantage for 4G whatsoever. So Elevate doing really good to just kill Lansky there and make sure Shade had no one to heal, so the Uber disadvantage is practically non-existent.
Yeah, haven't seen any off-classing yet. This is a big wide-open map that favors snipers in a couple areas. Haven't seen anything on last yet either. Something to look out for, though. Sniper can make a big difference on this map. Right now, 4G looking to poke and get their entry. Here they go. They get popped off right away by Alpha, which was very impressive. Alpha trying to stay in there, but taking a lot of damage. He's got some damage on the Blaze, who takes him out. Speaking of, oh, Clockwork got taken out as well, and Decimate now, eLevate really taking over here as... Decimate taking over, and I was just saying that eLevate really took over and defended against this Uber. I give big credit there to Alpha, actually, who popped off the Uber way earlier than Froyo probably wanted. And look at this easy, big, juicy mid now.
Yeah, Froyo's Uber got completely kited, and then eLevate just pushed up just as their Uber was ready to go. Melee killed off the medic, and just rest of players followed straight after. Just really solid fight by eLevate there, just really good Uber fight.
And so now eLevate maybe trying to take back some of that momentum in this one if they can, but they've got to get through this area here as well. This is where the Froyo Uber was popped off so early. 4G looking like they're playing it pretty passively and just going to give this one up and sit back and build. They probably know they're at a big Uber disadvantage, and Clockwork is down as well, so this is 6v5. Clockwork is up on Pyro. And so obviously 4G looking at last year. Let's look at the Pyro cam. First Pyro cam of LAN. And this is a real big gamble here for 4G, because if Clockwork picks the wrong door, but he doesn't, he picks the right door, and he's going to blast this Uber up. He gets taken out pretty quickly, though. Shade popping off his as well. There's a small gun up, but this one looks really good. If they can get the picks, this could be eLevate's time right here. Lansky going up high. Both soldiers actually doing big work for Froyotech. Lansky and both Banny actually take him out as well. Well, that was really just kind of shining there for Lansky and Banny. I really felt like eLevate were going to take over, but not able to get the frags.
I was surprised that they just left Badonsky completely out of that Uber and unprotected, and he just got completely owned as soon as his team Ubered in. And they got a pick, which was good, but Badonsky died straight after, so they weren't really able to do much post-Ubers, unfortunately for eLevate.
Well, yeah, I had the feeling that sort of 4G were a little maybe unprepared for that last defense, but they obviously weren't. Shows how much I know. They have a big Uber advantage now, so they'll be able to hopefully use this and do their thing. They're just right now getting that middle cap, one thing at a time. It is 2-1 Froyotech if you're just tuning in. They've got their charge now, and it's but they get forced real early here. I didn't see what forced them there. Did you catch it, Yuki?
Nah, I think it was Alpha, because it looks like he just goes down there. But, you know, eLevate are out of that really quickly, and they are getting this Uber advantage. They may not be able to contest this point in time with this Uber. It's gonna just get capped right about now. And I wonder what eLevate are gonna do. They're probably just gonna wait for their spawns, just push out standard 6v6 cookie cutter, and maybe force 4G out and just cap the point, and just, I guess, kind of, to steal CBS term, leapfrog the other team's Uber.
Well, yeah, we get into a situation now where one team will always have Uber, and you need to sort of get some kind of equalizer. You need to do something about that, or you're going to be behind. Banny actually went down, and eLevate, this could be their push right here. Badonsky trying to make some space if he can. Badonsky trying to snipe those stickies, but eLevate is in. Here comes big jumps in from Alpha, who's been going massive. Lots of picks and lots of players down for 4G, who are tail between the legs right now, and eLevate coming out. I've been very impressed, Yuki, by eLevate's ability to...
Uber drop, though. I was...
Oof.
Not exactly the best thing there. Lansky does take down Mela, so I was surprised eLevate took so long. They should have just popped Uber and just capped the point. It was a bit interesting that they just tried to milk it for so long, and their Uber advantage just dwindled. Lansky does take down Decimate, and 4G are going to cap this really quickly as Alpha goes down as well. So eLevate just bleeding players right now. Uber was popped by Shade. They're coming into this last point here. Clockwork leading the charge, just absolutely flying into KVK, wanting the kill, takes him down. Mela responding with his own Pyro, Badonsky with a nice pipe and Clockwork. 4G actually not coming in here. Trogo goes in and suicides on the second point, but 4G have not capped this last point yet.
KVK still on that long respawn and not yet up, and I mean, yeah, 4G missing their chance right here if they don't come in. They're finally in on the left. Oof, maybe. They were thinking of coming in, but getting blocked by this eLevate team. And if eLevate can avoid bleeding players here, they might be able to hold on. Blaze is in pretty deep. Badonsky's trying to sneak around left here. Badonsky runs into Lansky and gets taken down. That might be it for Froyo. Froyo actually Clockwork in there, got Mela as well. Froyo need to come in right now. This is it. Blaze is first jumping in. He's going right straight for the... Oh, the gun, though, is in there, so they need to be aware of that. Lansky in now as well. They're just going to try to flush all these eLevate players out. This looks ugly for eLevate, and we could have 3-1 here if Froyo can pull this off.
Looks like
Lansky looking
piling
for the big...
in here now. Benny does take down KVK, Badonsky goes down, taking down Benny in return, but that is going to be the cap for 4G, so just, as I said, surgical play. Lansky on 3 dominations right there, just showing that he's just putting out the big numbers.
Yeah, well, we're into overtime here now, or overtime, sorry, half time. Easy for me to say. And looking at some of the stats here right now, I'm a little overwhelmed by these Froyo players. You look at damage done a minute, you've got Lansky just under 350, you have Blaze at 340. It's kind of overwhelming. And Lansky with 18 big frags just in that half alone. We're not waiting though. They're not going to wait at all. We're going to start the second half here, so no time to analyze those stats. We're live here already. So it is 3-1 Froyotech. Into the second half here now, and eLevate came out so strong in the first round, and it was certainly early to say upset, but my god, they looked fantastic.
Yeah, if you want quick analysis, cliff notes, eLevate looked good first round. Unfortunately, 4G bounced back and owned them 3 rounds, but hopefully eLevate can bring it back.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking, actually, my camera is on Shrugger because Shrugger has had some big mids and has been doing a lot of cleanup. Shrugger's in already behind. He's trying to target in on Blaze here. Blaze got a kill on KBK, and so he's definitely the one to target. Maybe a little late, though, to get him. This is not going to be eLevate's middle unless they can pull a miracle here, although they're kind of bullying this space. They have 4G just kind of backed into this corner right here, and Shrugger with a kill onto Blaze. It's kind of a strange mid so far, as it looked like it was being dominated by 4G. I think they are going to take it. It's only Shrugger and Mela left up, but... and look at Shrugs, he's still in. Shrugger gets Lansky. So maybe a couple players on 4G, I don't know if they're napping or what, but they got split up and separated, and Shrugger with a couple little free little kills there.
I think 4G maybe being a little bit too, overeager there, just that they're, playing a really solid game right now, and Shrugger capitalizing on that, taking down Lansky. Gonna see what eLevate do here. I wonder if they're gonna... No utilities coming up for their side by the looks of things. Quite surprised to, not even see a defensive sniper to just, try and force that early pop or get a good body shot on a 4G player coming in. As Alpha is flying through this floral area with the help of Mela, just helping him get out there. And nothing else really happening apart from a bit of damage traded.
Well, I'm impressed by Shrugger, and if Shrugger can keep doing that throughout this tournament this weekend and sort of throw off those respawns, it can be a big thing. We have some jockeying for position here right now. Lansky's jumping in, going pretty deep. We have both teams right now just wanting to get the best of this. Clockwork, he's just joining into the fight now. We have kind of 6v6, but a lot of heals need to be put out right now by KBK. He's got Mela down to 55. Looks like 4G have a slight advantage here, certainly in terms of positioning and in terms of health. Mela gets forced right at the door. And so eLevate now have to use this Uber to get something, and it's not looking good. Mela's going to get back, and Lansky's taking his in. He's going to go for KBK. He gets the medic. He's going to come in. Oh, he gets taken down. Doesn't get Badonsky, but real strong Uber for 4G, and they need to sort of... They can't really follow up on this because they lost 3 in that encounter. They lost Shade as well.
Yeah,
it's a really good post-Uber play by both teams.
Yeah, really good post Uber. As I've said so many times, the post Uber is much more important than the Uber, and that showed. Just eLevate, just really strongly defending against despite them Ubering early, and the scouts lived throughout all of it. Clockwork though, 1v1 with Shrugger. Who's going to come out ahead? Shrugger going for blood. He's going to chase him here with the help of his scout. Decimate does take him down as well as with Badonsky. So that's a man advantage for eLevate right now, and they're going to be looking to pushing mid very shortly with this advantage.
Well, you're not going to win too many 2v1s against these eLevate scouts, as we talked about. Badonsky trying to flush out this cafe area a little bit and trying to maybe pinch the Froyo team now a little bit and come around this corner. A little bit of a flank going on. Demo flank, kind of not what we normally see, but he's just going to hold down this area right now. 4G, they're at a slight disadvantage, almost negligible on the disadvantage, but they're looking for their entry here right now. What's the best way in, Yuki?
I don't know, to be honest. I think trying to get something done from Flowers there is probably the best option, because that's probably the closest spot you can get to the enemy team, and just, get some spam rockets on them, see if you can catch someone out. Whereas Choke, you're seen from a mile away, and you can just get owned there and spam really easy. And same with Cafe, it's just a really long corridor, so Flowers probably the best option to try and, get something done, as both teams are going to be getting up their Uber right now. And
yeah, Blaze come around the side, and maybe that's where both flankers are thinking of coming around the side, but Mela pushes them out of there. Right now, 4G just kind of trying to figure out the push right now. I'm looking sort of at all the players at once. Lansky's doing a little bit of action over in Cafe as well. Surprised we haven't seen more Sniper. We saw a brief little bit of Sniper, but some of these long alleyways very much favor the Sniper class. Banny right now thinking of coming around the right side as well. We had somebody in. That was a sack by Blaze who didn't get anything off of it. And so maybe now time for eLevate to get some movement. We have Decimate trying to maybe come around flank a little bit. No team's really wanting to take a big risk right here, right now, because it is, as we say, 3-1, and certainly for eLevate, they don't want to drop another one. They want to make this right. Clockwork went down to a big arrow, and there's the first crossbow kill by the crossbow kid, KBK. Here we go. Start the counter, start the timer, and we have, the Uber got popped off. We're here in Chili's, or the cafe area, as we call it. We're going to see who can get the better of this post-Uber. Not a lot going to happen during. Banny versus Alpha. Alpha's going to get back out of there. No chase. Duana shot a little bit in there. They're going to come around, though. Blaze is in now as well and going to come in under the medic. Blaze jumping around. A lot of the soldiers jumping around doing their thing, but Blaze went down. So we had a couple trades back and forth, but nothing huge. 4G want to push through that right side flank, but they need Blaze to do it, I think.
I was a bit surprised that Clockwork just went in and two-shot Podonsky, and then 4G didn't really just go in and trade Uber and then play for the post-Uber after. It was a bit of a odd decision. I thought it would have been the better one, but they probably know better than me. They're pretty good, I think. I think 4G are okay at the game.
I think they're okay.
just maybe.
Yeah, they are pretty good. Male's going to rain down hell right now and try to get Blaze, and Blaze is going to crater. And so, I don't know. I don't know what eLevate is waiting for here. They don't see an opening. KBK is coming around this left side now, and they're thinking of a push. They don't have Uber. They're about to get it. Both teams are going to have it, though, so we're going to have maybe another stalemate moment. Mela's real hurt, and he doesn't have his med and goes down, and that's not what eLevate needed. So maybe now 4G are going to come around this left side. Shade is thinking about it. Both teams do have their Uber, but it's 6v5. This certainly favors 4G. Yeah, here they come. They're coming through this choke area. Lancey's going to come in, see if he can get a real early pick. The Ubers are going to get popped off, and so we're going to see what happens with these Ubers. KBK just trying to push 4G back. I don't know if he realizes that Blaze is in behind, though, and Blaze going to play spoiler a little bit, maybe? Gets taken down. Nothing from Blaze, and so with Banny and Blaze down now, this is eLevate's time. Duwatna down as well. Lansky's waiting, though, and he gets Alpha. That's pretty impressive. eLevate have got to do it, though, right now. Lansky's still in, though. Lansky's doing his thing. Lansky's up top. He wants the med, and he's going to come in on KBK. Come in on KBK. He's going to get KBK. Maybe?
Yeah, he's down there. Just good air crossbow by KBK, and both teams' medics do die. KBK dying slightly later, so Shade maybe going to try and opt for the crits. Not sure. There's still a fight going on mid. Blaze takes down Podonsky, but the return kill on him by Decimate. It was just... I really liked how eLevate were just really staggered with their push in there. They had the combo leading the way with Uber, all their shiny players at the front. The scouts came in delayed afterwards just to, try and catch any players, jumping on their demo mode who was just slightly in front of them. Just really, really saw the push by eLevate. I was actually really impressed by that.
Yuki, the thing that's striking me with this match is we're not really seeing any big rollover pushes, any big powerhouse pushes. Everything's kind of staggered. Like you said, we got 4G coming around this left side, though, meanwhile. Alpha trying to hold them off a little bit. They lost the medic. KBK went down. I didn't see it, but I believe it was to a big meat shot, and now eLevate are in a bad place without their medic, and Shade, I think he's aware of it. He wants to play safe and sort of stay back a little bit if he can. But he's without Blaze and Lansky, and so both teams sort of... Oh, Shade in a little bit of trouble. A little bit of spam coming from the demo on the left side. Shade is holding on to Uber here, and if he drops this, it's going to be a huge loss. Looked like he maybe got an arrow there under the scout. But Shade right now is just coming in behind. I guess he's going to meet someone here in mid. eLevate down a ton of players. I'm just looking at Shade right now because...
They just... sorry to interrupt you. eLevate just lost one player, and then they just proceeded to play Lemmings, just delayed, and as a result, they can't even contest mid at all, so... And I was a bit surprised by that decision. It looks like Uber coming in by Lansky does jump in on Alpha. KBK does get away. Blaze gets taken down as well as Shrugger in return, and Uber has finished, and Lansky just trying to shove eLevate into this spawn area here. Melo though getting a kill on Clockwork.
And now eLevate might come right out here. They've got 3 players down. They've got almost everyone down on Froyo. And yep, time to come out, red team. Let's do this. And Podonsky going to jump right up, see if he can catch anyone. But guess what? There's no one left on 4G. They're all in heaven. Blaze just getting back up now. They're going to get a real easy mid-cap here. Blaze going to do what he can, send a little bit of spam in, but he doesn't want to die either. It's going to cost his team. And so really impressive the way that eLevate just kind of really swung momentum back in their favor. Blaze doing his thing, though. Big props to Blaze for trying to hold them off here in the cafe area, but I don't know. We're down Mela and Bedonsky right now, but that's credit to Blaze there. And we're going to have actually a big Uber advantage here now as well. It looked real dire for eLevate, but now here they come. We've got Clockwork up on Sniper, and that's something to watch as well. Clockwork is one of the most dangerous snipers, of course, in the league. We all know that, and he's been proven on LAN. He can do it, and he's going to back up here now. He's in a little bit of trouble. He's been spotted out, so the effectiveness of the sniper goes down a little bit. 4G losing Lansky, and they've got to back up here a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a scuffle in the lobby there as Benny does take down Mela. Bedonsky, though, taking down Blaze. Uber is popped by Shade. Benny taking down Alpha, so he's going to be leading the super with Dwatner. Dwatner with a nice pipe on KBK to easily defend this last point. And eLevate, not be too happy with that post-Uber fight right there, as there's a bit of a duel in lobby. Benny winning that against Decimate successfully, and just there's going to probably be an easy recap by 4G unless eLevate have something to say about it.
Not sure about that 1v1 for Decimate. Maybe he had no other choice, basically. He knew his team was in a lot of trouble anyway. Banny's now in on Shrugger, the other scout, trying to win that one, but he's going to go back, play it safe, cap the point. Meanwhile, we've got 4G, a little encounter here at the choke area where Dewatna is trying to take out some of these soldiers. Mela's up in the air. He gets taken down. And Dewatna's still trying to do his thing. This 4G demo, trying to hit some pipes. Gets a little bit of a splash damage pipe onto Shrugger. Nothing huge, though. They're going to move in, though. Froyo able to come back and take some of this ground. Another push where eLevate sort of came in and maybe just bled players a little too much. And I've seen
There's
maybe a little...
Spy.
Uh-oh, guess who it is? Alpha got a big stab on Banny. Well, there we go. We have the first backstab of LAN. Maybe not the last. Off-classing to that Spy, and I've got to imagine he's going to come back up. We've got action, meanwhile, Shrugs. Big Shrugs McGugs, as Shade called him, doing a little bit of damage there on Dewatna. Takes him down. Lots of Froyo going down, and Shrugger now wants Blaze as well. Gets the pick. Maybe didn't get the pick himself, but he went down at any rate. Lots of Froyo players back, and this back and forth really continues here. We haven't seen either team really dominate this match, and we have a full wipe for 4G. This is maybe the biggest ride that I've seen any team take 4G for in a little while. The score says 3-1. But it has been fairly close, Yuki.
Yeah, there's been constant back and forth action. I mean, this 3-1 score, you'd be surprised to, think that this game's 3-1 considering how back and forth it is, as Shrugger goes in and destroys Dewatna.
Going deep, yeah. Now he lost himself, but a scout for a demo trade, that's big. And eLevate, not only that, but they have a big... Oh, but we had a hiding soldier, and it was Blaze who came in and got the big pick on KBK. And there are hiding spots on this Sunshine map, Yuki.
Yeah, I think eLevate just need to slow the game down a bit. They just need to identify they've got an advantage and just slow down a bit. Just turn it down just 1 octane. Instead, they keep just trying to go too fast with their advantage because they're scared it'll run out. And as a result, they just keep giving up their advantages. And look, once again, they're going to give up the 4th point, which they just recently captured. And you guessed it, 4G once again have an Uber advantage.
You saw Bedonsky hit a pipe like it's just basically his job, which I guess it really is. But eLevate are going to back up. Bedonsky and Co. They're down. 4G are down Blaze again, and we saw that big hiding spot play, which maybe that won't be the last one we'll see. There are a few areas where you can just sort of hide and bomb in, and KBK, I guess, learned his lesson on that one. You got to check your corners. We have Lansky popping in, and he's not popping, but jumping in, rather, and going to try to flush eLevate, and they're sent out of here. They lose Mela. Backing right up. We have no sneaky shenanigans, no spies or snipers for right now. Wondering if maybe is the better play for eLevate when they get on any kind of a push. Maybe they should play more passively and wait for 4G to make mistakes. But do they make mistakes is what I'm wondering.
I think they're just slowing the game down right now, trying to get some picks there as Blaze does take down Benonsky, but Blaze does get taken down. So, 4v4 fight as eLevate do get a spawn, but the Uber is forced by Shrug. A really good play by him there to, use that man advantage to just try and go in for the big play. And Banny does go down as well. Kind of coming up from eLevate, chasing him to this midpoint, and as you said it, Shade is down, so eLevate going to be hopping on this soon. But Lansky popping in on KBK, he's going to get the frag, gets him to 20 health. Unfortunately, he does get taken down though. Clockwork maybe coming in with help of Blaze, going to try and get that medic kill. Oof. KBK does go down. Blaze is dying though, and Clockwork still fighting here. Does get taken down, so They do have a slight Uber advantage for their troubles, but once again, eLevate take this midpoint, and this is just constantly back and forth. This midpoint has just traded hands far too many times for me to count.
This is a pretty wild match when it comes down to it, Yuki. I've seen the scouts do crazy damage. I've been on the Decimate cam just living there. We have a little bit of action going down right now. I saw a little bit of dim action. I was going to say, though, yeah, Decimate and his partner Shrugger have been doing crazy work, as have Banny and Clockwork. And the scouts on LAN, when there's no ping issue, it's scary. It's terrifying. And we have some action going down now at mid. Lansky's going to jump in and look for a little shot. He's going to rain down onto Alpha. Lansky's standing up above. We have big picks. Both Badonsky and Mela went down. Lansky going to try to follow it up here. He's going for a scout, maybe a demo. Takes out, well, there goes Decimate, there goes Alpha. Looking real good for Froyo right now. Lansky's going to jump in. I think all these Froyo players, they just want to clean everything up, but they've got a KBK and a Shrugger running away for their lives, and Mela as well. So they have 3 here to try to defend this, but looking real good as we continue to go back and forth. Froyotech, though, have their Uber, and they can use it unless we see some big pick onto Shade here and an Uber drop. Going to be able to come in, but let me get in theirs as well.
Yeah, just a little bit of standby happening up here.
Yeah.
As Blaze jumps in, trying to get some pressure on Mela. Uber is popped by KBK, unfortunately. Shrugger and Clockwork both trading. Blaze going down as well, so slight man advantage coming out of this post Uber as Lansky trying to shove into this lobby here, going for the frag on Mela. Mela actually serves a really good job by eLevate, just cutting that Uber.
Shade with a big crossbow! Telegraphing the crossbow, and certainly he didn't do a lot of the work, but finishing off that frag onto the soldier. And another! Shade with a second crossbow kill onto Mela. Shade is not about to be shown up by the crossbow kid. 2 in 1 life, looking for more?
Yeah.
Losing some players,
Shade's
but...
like, hey guys, I'm in here too. I have a crossbow. I can hit them. How's it going? And he just wants to one-up KBK, as you were saying. A bit of a fight happening in this flower era right now. Shrugger forcing out Clockwork. And slight Uber advantage for eLevate, not really enough to push off. So going to be another stalemate, but I wonder if, once again, 4G just constantly trying to get stuff done during this flower area. And eLevate responding well to it. No utilities on any side to speak of. No sneaky alpha spy or any sniper or anything like that happening. So
I'm
it's a standard
up here.
6-on-6.
Yuki, I'm sweating here. I'm pumped up. Those crossbow kills have got me pumped up. Both of these teams want it, and they're putting on a hell of a show for this first match. I'm loving it. I'm into it. It is still 3-1, of course. Froyotech holding on to advantage in terms of round, and time will start to become a factor here as we're in the second half of this map. We're looking pretty good right now. We're not coming down to the last seconds or anything like that, but something to be aware of. eLevate starts to come to a point where they need to really make something happen, and they can't waste time doing it.
Yeah, 4G doing the right thing. They're in the cap lead. They're just slowing the game down. This is when you know you're playing against a Banny team. As soon as they're in the lead, they just start slowing the game down. It just becomes increasingly frustrating to play against them because you have to play out of your comfort zone, push into them when they're defending the midpoint, and the Ubers are even. So one of those fights that you really don't like having, but sometimes you just have to have when a team's going to play like this.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're in this situation we've seen for a little bit of time here. We're just hanging out, and you said it. I mean, 4G in a position now where they're just partying on mid right now. We have some people just calling out chat fines and whatnot. It really, truly is on eLevate right here to act, and that's just about it. You can't boil it down any more than that. And I'm a little surprised that they're just sort of living at second point right now because they've got to make it happen. 4G are playing around and doing little things, but 4G don't have to act. They're up 3-1.
Yeah, and as I said, and as so many people will say, this is just a Banny team just in the works right now, just standard. Clockwork does die. Alpha trying to get in off that man advantage. Badonsky though getting taken down again. I think I've seen this movie before. It's the Badonsky dies movie, and his team just pops Uber and just sees what happens. But eLevate actually holding that Uber successfully. Lansky does get a pick on Alpha. Mela gets out of the cafe area, and Badonsky going to be spawning soon. So actually, really solid play by eLevate to just have extremely minimal losses with that Uber fight by 4G. And with their demo man coming up and this Uber advantage, they're going to be poised to push this midpoint with a good advantage soon enough.
They've got to do it. I don't know. Do they have it in them, Yuki? They've been sitting at this second point for a long time. Are they ready to do it as we see a 1v1 on flank 1 by Clockwork? Decimate's going to come in and clean him up, which is great, but Blaze is in as well, and it's a hard time getting through this choke area here, and they lose. I don't know. They're in a lot of trouble here. KBK taking a lot of damage. They're Ubered, but at 40 health, KBK might be in trouble once this is faded. They really need to chase all of Froyo out of here, which they've done. Mela getting blown back a little bit here, but I'm wondering, can they hold on to this? Or are we going to just have the repush right in by 4G? It looks like we may... Well, they're thinking about it. Now, 4G going to give them time. 4G don't need to bleed in and lose guys right now, but... Big pick on the Shade. We both saw it. Well, that's a huge deal, but now Clockwork is going to come in. He's going to equalize. Clockwork gets KBK, which is big, so both teams playing without heals, but I don't know. We are starting to run out of a little bit of time here, and it's really on eLevate to make this happen. Lots of frags going down. Shrugged McGuns getting Lansky and Banny and Blaze. This is eLevate's push right here. They're just rolling over 4G.
Wow.
Shade is in a last. He just respawned.
Hello?
Shade goes down. There's no one left to defend last. Now, they're going to get players up on that respawn just barely, but eLevate are going to be able to come in on this last right here. 4G have got to defend this, and this is looking real bad. They're going to come right out here. Mela is in. Mela gets taken out right away. Alpha dominates Blaze. Lansky trying to hold down this last best he can, but eLevate take the round in the end. A very valiant effort. We're gonna get this split. We're gonna get this split screen here for the mid coming out, but we're looking at 3-2 right now. But it's 9.5 minutes left to go. Shrugger is just playing on another plane of existence. He needs to come back through his wormhole, I think, and join us here on planet Earth.
Yeah,
I'm watching Shrugger on this mid.
AGI there.
Let's look at Shrugger on this one.
Please don't be for this time, Shrugger. As he's in here, just having a little bit of a poke here right now on this side, getting some heals. Alpha, though, meanwhile, taking down Dewatner. So good pick there. Alpha and Decimate, though, both dying for that cause, unfortunately. And they're not really in the best position to fight this midpoint afterwards, as 4G are just, playing that man advantage, just slowly pressuring them out, though. But as I say that, Penny goes down, as well as Blaze, KBK with a huge crossbow. So eLevate trying to recoup their losses, but Lansky with a nice kill on KBK, and Podolsky dying as well.
Shrugger just got Lansky at the last second. Watching Shrugger, it's like poetry in motion, Yuki. I just feel like I'm in awe of his play. He's that's all I can say. Poetry in motion.
Stops this game so far, that's for sure.
Yeah. 4G going to take this first mid. They do have their medics still up with full Uber. eLevate don't. And so this might be the fourth round for Froyotech. If they can play this right here, they need to play it kind of patiently. They can't go in and just bleed players. They've got Mela trying to challenge Mela down right away. He's going to wait 15 seconds before he comes up. He's going to think about what he did.
Now for the Australian. Is up on that sniper as Lansky does take down Decimate, but Alpha going to back off to the last point, and that Uber advantage still firmly in favor of 4G. They're popping in through this lower main area. Lansky leading the charge. Podolsky getting taken down. Shrugger taking down Dewatner though, so a nice trade there. And the Pyro does come out from Mela, trying to buy some time for spawns for his team. And 4G are not capping the point yet. They're just going for blood. And if they're not careful, there's going to be some eLevate spawns to try and defend this. But no, 4G do store out enough time, get enough frags, and get on that cap and secure that round win there.
Yeah, Shade was just hucking crossbows in there. I feel like he's just up on that crossbow scene now, doing his thing, But it worked out for Froyo, and we're looking now with 7.5 minutes left. We're looking at 4-2 Froyo. Looks very good for them, but we've seen crazier things happen than 2 rounds going down in 7.5 minutes. Certainly plenty of time. I'm looking at Decimate this time. This is where my camera went. And these eLevate scouts really need to make it happen on this middle. They need to come in and clean up the damage. And we have a big soldier jumps in from both Lansky and Blaze. Blaze is coming in huge. He just barely missed taking out KBK. He's going to stay up in that awning there and do his thing. KBK is out, and he could be in a lot of trouble. Blaze is still there. I don't know if they know he's there. He got one rocket onto the med, but boy, oh boy, there's only 2 players left. It's Lansky and Clockwork. And all of eLevate staying up there. I liked what Blaze was doing, trying to get the picks onto the med and get those key targets, but in terms of focus fire, eLevate did a better job there, Yuki.
Yeah, wow, Clockwork just getting completely baited by Alpha there and not able to secure the frag on him, and Lansky getting pressured in this lobby. Decimate trying to get him with help of Alpha. They're going to get him, so 2-man advantage and Uber advantage on attacking this last point. This level sentry gun is level 2 though, as Uber is popped by eLevate, flying in here, trying to get some pressure time on the point. Good damage on 4G's players, but the spawns are coming in. Podolsky takes down the gun, those guys, but there's the cap, and just really solid play by eLevate, just shoving 4G back into the spawn, and just getting on that cap.
Is this the cue for the comeback, the upset? We've got 6 minutes left. I feel like Froyotech were just sort of concentrated on getting a heavy up and an engineer up. They forgot that you stand on that point and it caps. Who do you want to look at? Call it. Take us through it, Yuki.
Okay, well, I'm gonna watch Benny right now. See what he does here. Just poking here, just waiting to get some buffs from his medic. Just bit of posturing, just very standard scout work. He has Blaze though, does get the first blood on Mela, and he's gonna go down. But they just take down Badonsky with him with the help of Banny. Shade though going down. KVK is still alive. eLevate have lost 4 players, 4 of their combat classes. Decimate and KVK are just running for their lives. As I said, actually, Decimate's just in a 1v1, tying up the team of 4G so his medic can get out. Lansky trying to find blood in this lobby area, not able to get it. So 4G do get the cap, but eLevate successfully protect the Uber advantage.
Yeah, eLevate are going to be able to get a defense back up. Seems like to me, Yuki, that Badonsky is so much of a key to how these mids go for eLevate. If Badonsky goes down, it seems like they lose every time. Am I crazy?
I just feel... What a Demo needs to do on mid. If he's done enough damage, it's okay if he dies, but if he hasn't really had his time to do his damage, then it's going to be unfortunate, as the Uber is popped in this little cafe area, I'll let you call it.
Yeah, or Chili's. Most people call it cafe, though. Elevator coming back out on the mid, and I don't know what to think about this. Clockwork got taken out back on the flank, so they don't have one of their biggest weapons, Clockwork. 4G have a big advantage, though. 4G are sitting on almost Uber.
On the medic?
I don't know here. Lansky's coming in on his own. We had the Uber popped off there. Maybe not where they wanted to pop this one. Duwan is trying to make something happen, but oh boy, we're going to be looking at an advantage here for the eLevate team if they can get their Uber. Alpha is down, and so that is something, but I don't know, this eLevate team, they want to come back here. It's very close here. This match is going to come down to the wire. Here comes 4G. Duwan is in trying to hit some pipes. A lot of spam coming in, and KVK is going to be in trouble. He may not get his Uber. A nice air stick set off, and we had a KVK crossbow kill on the Banny. A second one on the Blaze. KVK doing it himself, but is he going to stay alive? And he doesn't. He gets taken out, and almost everyone down now from the eLevate team. Everyone but Alpha, and he's the last one. It's a staggered wipe. 4G, if they can get this push, they're going to have no one in their way, although I don't know, Badonsky, Mela, Decimate coming back up. It's plausible that they could defend this one. KVK trying to do it himself. We're going to have a crossbow kill highlight reel of this LAN just from this one match alone. Shrugger trying to poke in behind. This is real important right now. This could be the match right now with Shrugger and Alpha are both down. This could just be elementary right now for Froyotech as they push in. Real tough. Only 4 players to defend for eLevate. Duwana coming in and 4G trying to do it here, but only Mela left up and Badonsky, and it's going to be it. Froyo going to take this first match. Pretty easy there to come on in. With that many players down by eLevate, it basically was all but said and done for the eLevate team. And so the first match of this LAN, it does go to the favorites, Froyotech.
Well, it's a good game to watch though. I mean, eLevate had a lot of really good moments, and I felt they could have had even more good moments if, as I said, all they did just tone it down just a little bit and just, you know, protect their advantages, or, you know, protect their disadvantages so they don't become bigger disadvantages. But a lot of the time, there'd just be these fights where one player would go in, 3 seconds player, another player go in, 3 seconds later, another player goes in, and they just have these staggered deaths, which, you know, you don't really want. You want to have these big spawn waves where you can just, you know, change the momentum at the tip of the hat. Whereas, you know, they had these staggered deaths, and as a result, when they had respawns, they weren't really able to do much off it, unfortunately.
Tip of the hat, eh? Well, certainly, I'm very encouraged by how that match went down for the first match of LAN. You know, Yuki, we have seen LANs in past years where there's one team that comes in and bowls over everyone, and it's never close, and everything's just kind of boring. The team that you think is going to win is going to win. That's not what I just saw. I think you nailed it. That eLevate put up a hell of a fight there. They could have very easily come back there at the end. They nearly did. I'm excited. I'm happy. I like what we're seeing from this LAN so far. We look at the stats here. We have them up on screen. We've got Clockwork, aka Clock Twerk. We've got 42 frags, of course. Look at the med picks, though. He led in med picks as well with 6, which is saying a lot. And Lansky not far behind with 5. What else am I seeing? I'm surprised by the meds. We saw some huge crossbow kills. KVK with 5 frags on medic, which is a big deal. Shade had 2 in 1 life. That's a big thing. What else stands out to you, Yuki, on these stats?
I'm just trying to see. I mean, they all look, pretty even. It's actually a pretty even spread, but Lansky just that little bit ahead of his, counterpart on the other team, doing 38 more damage per minute than Alpha. But we can look at these stats, but it was just actually a really close game. You can just see just the damage stats are just really close between the other team's player there, and though I'm quite surprised that both teams in general just seem to neglect their demo men. Like look how many deaths they had, like 20, 21 and 26. That's quite a lot of deaths, I reckon. I mean.
Well,
you think of Demo Man as a class, you don't want it to die that much because, if it's huge damage potential.
Yeah, I'm looking at the heals received for. I'm looking at Lansky, and just look, with Lansky, the heals received way above and beyond. He was living with Shade, but look at what it enabled him to do. 38 kills and only 21 deaths. Taking so much of those heals, I mean, it's a big deal, and you're really just creating a monster there when you got a guy like Big Lansky, Big Dave playing. And I'm looking at the heals received for some of the other classes as well. I think you nailed it when you look at the demos. Badonsky and Dutorkna, aka Duwatna. They're kind of playing more of almost a flanking role. I saw Duwatna holding down flanks sort of by himself a lot more than I saw, maybe some of the other players. Anyway, some interesting thoughts there and some interesting things we saw, but I think the big weapon that we've seen so far, maybe two big weapons, have been Clockwork and Lansky, just based on one map alone. We're moving on to the next map. The next one is going to be Process. And so, guys, stick around. It's best of threes all weekend. We're sticking with Froyotech and eLevate. Froyotech taking the first map. We're going to play some ads, get some word from our sponsors, and we're going to be right back at you with the second map here at ESEA-I LAN live on Team Fortress TV and ESEA 3.